More confirmed ICE arrests in Madison. An update and reaction from local school districts right now at 6. And preparing for a worst-case scenario. More businesses getting active shooter training after last week's workplace shooting in Middleton.
This is News 3 at 6.
Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll have those stories in just a moment. Our threat of severe weather is now over. The rain starting to come to an end, at least in some places. Let's head over and check in with our chief meteorologist, Gary Canalti. He is in the Weather Center, and he has our first alert forecast. Gary, we in the clear now?
I think so, Eric. The line of thunderstorms has moved out over Lake Michigan and is moving through the Chicago area and is moving away from us. The main part of the line of storms now right through the city of Chicago, and this line of storms really swept across northern Illinois, just to our south. Many reports of 60, 70, 80-mile-per-hour winds. Oregon, Illinois got hit hard with widespread tree damage as that line of storms passed through, but all of the severe weather stayed pretty much just south of the Wisconsin-Illinois state line. And you can see how quickly that line of storms moved. Now is moving out over Lake Michigan and is moving away from southern Wisconsin. Temperatures this morning started out in the upper 50s to around 60, and high temperatures reached the middle 70s before the storms rolled through. Look where our temperatures are now. They're almost back to where our low temperatures for the day were, and those winds have shifted around to the northwest, and that'll bring in much cooler weather for the rest of the week. So the severe weather threat is over, but look for skies to turn partly cloudy overnight with temperatures dropping into the middle 40s by tomorrow morning. Tomorrow will be a breezy and much cooler day with a high of only 59. That's your first alert forecast.
Gary, thank you. New information right now. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement says they have arrested 83 criminal aliens and immigration violators in a 4-day enforcement surge in Wisconsin. This is according to a press release just out in the last 10 minutes or so after conducting arrests in 14 counties, including Dane County, where 20 people were arrested. They say more than half of those arrested were by deportation officers during this operation. They say those individuals had prior criminal histories. This surprise visit, though, has created some fear in the community, affecting many local businesses. Our Amanda Quintana in the News Center now with what business leaders are planning to do. Amanda?
Yes, well, city officials say they believe today will be the last day that ICE is in the area, but they aren't sure still because the agency has not communicated with local law enforcement. Those numbers have been the first thing that we've really heard from them, showing 20 arrests here in Dane County. The fear that has created has caused a few local businesses to close over the last few days, but now leaders are coming together to make sure everyone stays open but knows their rights.
Many people think of church as a safe place, and it is. But the question is, well, is ICE allowed to go into the church? Is this a sanctuary or not?
Pastor Marcio Sierra questioned whether he should hold Mass at Lighthouse Church on Sunday, with so many people in fear that federal immigration agents are in the city. Since Friday, they've arrested 12 people in the Madison area.
Church members are calling us, should we come to church or should we stay at home? Should we bring our parents to school or not? Should we come to work or not?
Questions so many other business and organization leaders are getting. Today, gathering at the Latino Chamber of Commerce to consult with attorneys on what to do if ICE shows up.
But there are many who actually have a reasonable chance that this is not going to be anything bad for them, but they're not educated enough in this area to know what to say or what to do at that moment. And that's what we're trying to help as well.
Attorneys say it's unlikely ICE will raid a school or church, but they can and will target a specific worker, then ask others in the business for their IDs.
How far they will go, that is the part we're also trying to clarify. Like if this is happening in a kitchen and they're going to go to all the tables where everybody's having a happy meal, most likely that is not going to happen.
Out of this meeting, business leaders have come to an agreement.
All the stakeholders here are the ones that are, I think, responsible for putting that positive messaging out there.
They need to stay open, stick together, remember they make important contributions to the local economy, and show they're not afraid.
We're a power here in this community, so we have to be wise, but I don't think we should be living in fear.
The Latino Chamber of Commerce is planning a marketing strategy because of today's meeting, creating flyers that businesses can post, essentially showing that they aren't letting fear shut them down and they stand together and they will continue to work to keep customers and employees safe.
Amanda Quintana in our News Center tonight. Amanda, thank you. The Madison School District says students are safe from ICE activity on school grounds. They say ICE cannot contact students at school without a parent's permission. By law, all students have the right to a free education regardless of their immigration status. The district also has an internal work group to help immigrant families get extra help. Information about this group is available on our website, channel3000.com. The Verona Area School District also offering similar support for students. The district confirming some of the people detained are parents or family members of students in the Verona Area School District. A Middleton software company offering support services now to employees after the workplace shooting last week. Nathan Erbst is the CEO of WTS Paradigm. He talked publicly about last week's shooting for the first time this morning. The company bringing in grief counselors for its employees and allowing them to go back to work when they feel ready.
It will take time for our WTS family to fully recover and heal, but we are thankful to have the support of each other and the community as a whole. We will find the strength to recover and move forward.
4 people were hurt in that shooting last Wednesday. All are expected to survive. One does remain hospitalized today. Police shot and killed the shooter, 43-year-old Anthony Tong. He joined WTS Paradigm in April of 2017. Now, since that tragedy, dozens of businesses are requesting active shooter training. The CEO at WTS Paradigm says it is something his company has never done. Our Rose Schmidt is here to tell you what you should know if you ever find yourself in a similar situation. Rose?
Well, I actually went to one of these trainings today, and Dane County deputies teach the phrase run, hide, fight, meaning have an escape route, but if you can't leave, then hide in an area out of the shooter's view. Or as a last resort, fight. Throw things and try to distract the shooter. But they're hoping these are skills you'll never need to use. It's something no one wants to think about.
As you know, last Wednesday, we unfortunately experienced this event here in our county.
But Dane County deputies are preparing their community for the worst.
My name is Jocelyn Longley.
Deputy Longley held her first training session Tuesday.
This training is truly about empowerment.
Since she responded to the situation at WTS Paradigm last week, where an employee opened fire on his coworkers.
We are not on scene quick enough. We need to know while we are coming there and everyone is coming as quick as they can. We need to know people in that building are doing something, anything to increase their chance of survival.
Employees at St. Mary's Hospital got a chance to learn those survival skills.
Obviously, we do this, so we are prepared, but our hope is, obviously, that we never have to act upon this.
It's a training that was planned months ago, long before the tragedy in Middleton.
Unfortunately, we've seen more and more active shooters, including in healthcare organizations.
John says the goal is for St. Mary's staff to know how to take care of patients.
But no, this is a life skill.
And that means both medical needs and safety.
Because it's really important for people to come into their workplace and have an idea of where their exits are, have an idea of what doors maybe do or don't lock.
It's about increasing awareness.
A lot of people have anxiety when they come to the training. It's something they're scared to think about. But what's amazing is people that send cards after, send emails, actually thanking us.
And knowing what to do if it ever happens to you. Deputies say businesses and schools hold trainings for fires and tornadoes, and this is just another situation that they have to prepare for. And they're now booking trainings for February and March.
Yeah, becoming very important. Rose Schmidt reporting that. Rose, thank you very much. Some incredible video today. Police are looking to identify 3 teenagers who crashed a stolen vehicle. There you saw it. This was on the west side at Mineral Point and Gammon Roads near Westtown Mall. The stolen SUV ran that red light while speeding, and then it collided with another vehicle. The teens quickly jumped out and ran off. They are looking for information. Call Crime Stoppers 266-6014 if you have any. There were no serious injuries. The first plans for the former GM plant in Janesville are being revealed tonight. Demolition on the 250-acre site started in May, almost a third of the way done now. And tonight, both the property owners and developers will reveal preliminary plans for what's ahead there. Angus Young Associates President Joe Stadelman says it's a big moment for the city of Janesville.
This is a really unique opportunity that, only comes by once in a lifetime in terms of what is offered at that site. I mean, it has very large amounts of power and capacity. It has the railroads and the transportation.
Stadelman says tonight's meeting will show how the 250-acre site will be broken up for other uses and will introduce the site's new name, Centennial Industrial Park, an ode to the 100 years of work at the former GM facility. The Janesville fire chief has announced his resignation. Now leaders are considering their next move there. It comes during a months-long dispute between the fire department and the city, but might not necessarily be related here. Our Rock County reporter Adam Duxter joins us in our bureau at the Janesville Gazette with more on what led to this moment. Adam?
Eric, Janesville Fire Chief Randy Banker saying in a statement today that his resignation is not tied to his department filing a complaint against the city of Janesville. Now, in February, contract disputes began between the department and the city after the city told firefighters they would no longer be able to wash their cars at the fire station. Now, while this might not seem like much, Union President Jason Dascom told me that this benefit had been clearly detailed in firefighters' contracts, and removing it could create what he calls a dangerous precedent.
It's about the city breaking our contract without sitting down with us. It could be car washing. It could be not replacing a stove at the station. It could be no toilet paper, no paper towels, no chairs. You name it.
Now, city firefighters have issued a complaint against the city of Janesville, and the firefighters I talked to today say they were threatened with a over 400% increase on their health insurance costs were they not to comply with the city. You can find all the details about this complaint and what led to this point on our website, channel3000.com.
Adam Duxter reporting tonight from Janesville. Adam, thank you. And still to come tonight at 6, a preview of the sequel to the hit Netflix series Making a Murderer, premiering next month. And how the county hopes to keep the historic flooding from happening again. Their plan just announced today. The story straight ahead. After the recent historic flooding, the Dane County Board of Supervisors is allocating millions of dollars to help with flood recovery and prevention efforts. Announced today, $18 million will be put towards stormwater management, river flow improvement, water level analysis, highway improvements, sandbagging machines, emergency housing, and much more. County Executive Joe Parisi says he thinks the money dedicated to this effort will help tremendously, but says it has been tough to watch it all unfold.
Anyway, it's been both heartbreaking to see the effects, but it's also been very inspiring to see the people throughout this community come together to address this challenge.
Parisi added they have prioritized it in the budget to be able to dedicate this money toward flood recovery. He says it's the most pressing issue. Strongly believes this preparation for the future will pay off. The sequel to the popular Netflix documentary Making a Murderer will premiere next month. The first looked at the arrest and trials of Stephen Avery, his nephew Brendan Dassey, both serving life sentences for the death of Wisconsin freelance photographer Teresa Halbach. Her remains found at a salvage yard owned by the Avery family in Manitowoc County. The series caused many to petition for the release of both Avery and Dassey. Making a Murderer 2 will air October 19th. Ahead tonight in sports, the Brewers right in the thick of it in the hunt for the postseason, and how the Packers are preparing for the Buffalo Bills this weekend after their surprise blowout win over the Minnesota Vikings last week.
In weather, the threat for severe weather is over. Skies will be clearing later tonight, but much cooler weather is on the way beginning tomorrow. I'll take a look at our first alert forecast in just a few minutes.
Our Coats for Kids campaign tally flirting with 2,000 now. We are still looking for winter coats of all sizes, but especially those for the little ones, the infants, the kids. Every year, the demand for kids' coats exceeds our supply. So if you do have one that is no longer being worn and it's in still good condition, please consider donating it to Coats for Kids. And Gary's got a long-term forecast that has a little bit more jacket weather coming our way.
I think if you haven't had a chance to try on the jackets because it's been so mild, you're going to have a chance over the next couple of days. Find out if they don't fit, and the ones that don't fit, those are the ones that you can donate. So it'd be good timing for that. But definitely a change is on the way, and it's with this line of thunderstorms, which raced across southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois, and now is out over central Lake Michigan, extending back into the southern suburbs of Chicago. The strongest storm cells are racing toward the northeast at about 50 to 60 miles per hour. But notice the back edge of the precipitation now clearing Milwaukee, and at this point, I think most of the rain threat is over. But most of the severe weather reports are across northern Illinois. There was one as far north as Rockton, Illinois, just south of the state line with some trees down there. But in Oregon, Illinois, just to the southwest of Rockford, they had widespread tree damage from winds that were estimated around 80 miles per hour as that line of storms swept eastward into the Chicago area. But once that line of storms moved on through, That's pretty much it as far as not only the severe weather chances, but pretty much the rain chances as well, because there's nothing really out to the west of us, at least imminent. There are some showers and thunderstorms back in the Dakotas. A couple of those showers could reach us by Thursday. Over the next 7 days, those temperatures staying generally below normal. Average high temperature goes from 68 to 66. We'll only be in the upper 50s tomorrow, low 60s on Thursday, upper 50s on Friday, and around 60 or just above for the weekend before we get up to around 70 again by Monday of next week. Live view from the Queen Bee Radio Skycam in Platteville, starting to see a little clearing on the western horizon. That view is looking straight west. WISC Skycam looking off toward the east shows mostly cloudy skies, but from time to time we're seeing some breaks in the clouds. Edgewater Skycam in downtown Madison looking to the southeast. Again, a couple of breaks here and there, otherwise just mostly cloudy right now. High temperature today 75 before the storms rolled through. Low temperature this morning at 60, but we're just above that now with 61 degrees, mostly cloudy skies. Winds now out of the northwest at 3 miles per hour. In fact, you take a look at, you can very clearly see where the cold front is right along that line of thunderstorms from Lake Michigan down through the Chicago area. That's where the winds shift around to a more northwesterly direction. High temperatures today, mid 70s to around 80 ahead of the line of storms. Now take a look where temperatures are. Mid 60s in Milwaukee, 61 in Madison, upper 40s to low 50s in northwestern Wisconsin. Compared to 24 hours ago, those temperatures dropping 15 to 25 degrees. Dew point temperatures are also coming down, lower 60s ahead of the line of storms, mid 40s behind it. That means we'll also see some cool nights as well. Forecast for tonight, 46 for the overnight low temperature, any lingering showers ending, then partly cloudy, breezy, and cooler. For tomorrow, a high of only 59, even though we'll have partly sunny skies. On future track, the rain chances end tonight. Skies at least partially clear with lows in the mid 40s. Partly sunny skies tomorrow with those winds out of the west and northwest, keeping high temperatures only in the upper 50s. We clear out for tomorrow night before a few clouds roll in late with low temperatures in the mid 40s. Thursday, showers move in, especially in the afternoon. High temperatures in the lower to middle 60s, but the 7 to 10 day forecast keeps temperatures on the cool side Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Only upper 50s Friday, 60 Saturday, and 62 on Sunday. Some rain chances early next week with a brief warm up, and colder weather toward the end of next week.
The Brewers are getting closer and closer to wrapping up a playoff spot, and they can get really close tonight. The story's coming up in sports.
Hi, I'm Michelle Corolla. Tonight on the news at 9, UW Chancellor Rebecca Blank may be called to take the stand once again in an NCAA lawsuit. We're going to tell you why. That's first on Fox at 9.
News.
Brewers are a step closer to the playoffs. They can get even closer tonight. They'll play in St. Louis at 7:15 with Gio Gonzalez facing Austin Gomber. Last night, the Brewers won a rain-delayed 6-4 decision over the Cardinals. Here's the winning run. On a pickoff throw that hit Mike Moustakas in the ribs, the ball rolled far enough for Eric Thames to score. Brewers had the lead. And with closer Jeremy Jeffress unavailable with neck spasms, the new closer is the old closer, Corey Knebel. He threw in the upper 90s. He's looked pretty good in his last few appearances, so that's a good sign for the bullpen. The final is Brewers 6, Cardinals 4. Brewers still have a shot at winning the division title. They're only a game and a half behind the Cubs, and now the Brewers are 3 games ahead of the Cardinals for the #1 wild card spot. Brewers' magic number for clinching a playoff spot is down to 3. Packers cornerback Devon House goes on injured reserve after shoulder surgery. The Packers will play the Buffalo Bills at Lambeau Field Sunday at noon on Channel 3. Seemed like playing the Bills would be a good idea before they dismantled the Vikings last Sunday. And meanwhile, the Packers were losing in the rain in Washington. This being tackle football, it's the job of the defense to tackle people well. Proper tackling's been a real problem for the Packers so far, though. That's been a point that has not been lost on the vice president in charge of tackling, Mike McCarthy.
You know, that's something that's a challenge. It's just like anything. You know, we're about fundamentals. I mean, that's, you know, when you have a football team, you only have so much time and so much that you can work on. And for the amount of time that we spend on that, you know, that's if there's a frustration for me as a coach is when my team doesn't play with the fundamentals. And it's week 3. I'm not making excuses, but you kind of go through some growing pains each and every year.
The Badger women's hockey team has its season opener Friday night at 7 against Lindenwood at LeBon Arena. Now they're celebrating the 20th season of Badger women's hockey, 20 years that have included 7 conference championships and 4 national titles. Mark Johnson's been the head coach since 2002.
My crystal ball 20 years ago, you know, would the program be in this position and would be this far along with women's hockey, you know, it would have been tough to predict that, but it's in a great place. A lot of appreciation to our fans who are willing to come out and watch our players play. The whole thing just puts a big smile on my face, and certainly appreciate a lot of the input from everybody around our athletic department, our coaching staff, and the people that have, you know, directly impacted our program. But it's in a great place.
Prep-Mania High School Football Game of the Week Friday night features 2 contenders in the Big 8 Conference. Janesville Craig is at Middleton. We'll televise the game live, TVW, and live stream it on channel3000.com Friday night at 7. And here's the new mascot for the NHL's Philadelphia Flyers. His name is Gritty, and he's scaring the daylights out of a lot of kids. Normally, these mascots are fluffy, adorable creatures like the Philly Fanatic with the baseball team there, but Gritty is a kind of a spooky thing that some are calling nightmare fuel. The Flyers are saying Gritty is talented and feisty, but loyal and mischievous. It's orange.
The Philly Fanatic's iconic, right, in the world of...
That's the Philadelphia weather person there.
Yeah, in front of the traffic, too.
Yeah.
So maybe the
He likes
mascot
it,
can do
apparently.
that.
Big wild card game in the wild card race tonight, Brewers and Cardinals. Yeah. And I always like to get your input on these things because you're not nervous at all about the Cubs in this stretch.
Very nervous about this. So, no, at least I don't have to worry about the weather. The severe weather threat's over.
It's moved on through, folks. Thanks for joining us. See you at 10.
Download the new Channel 3000 app and get alerted on your mobile device the minute news breaks. Wherever you go, be the first to know with Channel 3000.